Hey guys, what's going on? We're back with another Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to discuss, is 0 hour too hard? Now, if you don't know what 0 hour is, it's a exotic mission in Destiny that was initially released back in 2019 during Season of the Drifter, or Season of the Joker, whatever you want to call it. Basically, Aramis and her Fallen are attempting to reclaim Outbreak, a piece of Siva technology, because the Fallen love Siva. And Mithrax essentially foils this plan, tells us that she's going to try to reclaim it, and helps us to avoid that possibility. Now, in order for Aramis to get this, she has to raid the Vanguard vaults within the original tower, the one that we see primarily throughout D1 and the beginning of Destiny 2's Red War campaign. And you start in the courtyard or somewhere in the tower. It's I believe it's also the same place you rendezvous with Amanda Holiday in the Red War campaign, if anyone played that back in the day. But the point I want to make with this is that your outgoing damage is at about a -10 delta, which means you're doing -10 damage to combatants even on normal. And apparently activity overcharges are also not active at the moment, so even though you have a sniper overcharge in both Whisper, or sorry, just Whisper, and then you have a pulse rifle overcharge in 0 hour, neither of those are active. That being said, you're not dealing as much damage, and that does make it a little bit more difficult. Of course, in Legend, you're going to take more damage as well, so Legend is really hard. The reason why I find this really confusing is for, I would say, somewhat, maybe like 70% of this exotic mission, there are no enemies in it at all. And we've seen a lot more difficult activities in this game recently, both with Legend, Onslaught, Pantheon, and now these exotic missions. And guess what? They're not meant to be easy. You have normal versions of both of these exotic missions, both the Whisper and 0 hour. You also have normal Onslaught, and you have the somewhat easier difficulties of Pantheon, still making it accessible for players who maybe don't have the experience or the desire maybe to sweat in lobbies for hours trying to just get the ability to craft Outbreak, or who just don't care about adept raid weapons, don't need any patterns or exotic raid weapons either, you know, and different strokes for different folks. If you just want to chill in -5 Pantheon and normal versions of each activity I just mentioned, that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, and you shouldn't be ashamed. Again, everyone has a different reason to play this game, different ways of enjoying this game, and you should do whatever floats your boat, okay? There was a very similar disconnect, I think, when Lightfall first came out, and the patrol zone in Neomuna was very difficult, and a lot of people were complaining about that, like it's just a patrol zone, like it shouldn't be that difficult. And also, to boot, a lot of people thought the Lightfall campaign was good when, objectively, from a narrative standpoint, it lacked a lot of hallmarks of a good story, you know, exposition, likable characters, a meaningful sense of seriousness, and one of the most dire missions, campaigns in the entire Destiny story. Like, we literally lose yet again. Like, I would say the only campaign that was more somber than this was the Red War, and that rightfully had such a nice, depressing tone to it, which, you know, might sound a little counterintuitive, like, why would you want your game to be depressing? But that was the whole point of the Red War, was that we lost. And Lightfall was a very similar thing, but, you know, Nimbus and various other things made it feel like it was supposed to be a more jovial expansion, when in fact it was anything, it was anything but that. So, you know, some people enjoyed it, some people didn't. And just like that, some people are going to enjoy this higher difficulty, and some people just won't. You know, that's just the way it is. So, I think it's good that we have difficult, challenging content in this game. because again, 90, maybe 85% of that content now you can just do so easily. Like you don't even have to think. It's brain dead. And it gets boring, you know, if you don't have to think about your stats, you don't have to think about your armor mods or the weapons you're running, then, like, what are you doing? I can just run a glaive, and 2 linear fusions. Like, who cares? Like, that might not be possible. Is that possible? I guess you could run Winter Bite and, like, Buzzard and something else, but anyways, I'm going on a tangent. Let me know what you guys think about this difficulty. I think it's appropriate. It is supposed to be some of the hardest content in the game, and it really just gives people a reason to play again and again, because maybe they like the challenge. Maybe they want to flawless it. Maybe they want to solo it. Maybe they just do it for fun with their friends. And they have to think a little bit more about what they're running and how they're running it, and in order to survive, maybe they have to play a little bit safer. You know, it's all part of the program. Anyways, like if you enjoyed. Again, comment your thoughts down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. A lot of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. And I will see you guys in the next one.